Hey Jerk, it's Gloria. So today I have a review for you, and I'm going to be reviewing the Smashbox The Masterclass Palette 2. Now this is the second version of this palette that Smashbox has released. Now the retail price is $59, and you can purchase this at any Sephora store or at Sephora.com. This is the packaging in which the palette comes in, and as you can see here, it does provide the name of the palette, which is Smashbox The Masterclass Palette 2. It does say it comes with 3 looks created by our pros, which is the Shimmer and Smoke, Gold Diffusion, Emerald Eyes. And on the bottom of the packaging, it does state that it comes with 28 photo op eyeshadows, 4 cream eyeliners, 5 blushes, 1 bronzer, 2 soft lights, which are also highlights, and Get the Look insert, which is provided inside. And this is the front of the packaging. On the back, this is the back of the packaging. It does have the name of the palette, it does have a description of the palette, and it also has the picture of what the palette looks like inside. So the inside of the palette, you do get the Smashbox Masterclass Palette to Get the Look insert, and these are the 3 looks that were provided on the front of the packaging, which is Shimmer and Smoke, Golden Diffusion, and Emerald Eyes. So this is really great on how to get these 3 looks. If you're a beginner, this will definitely benefit you, or just to try something new. Now for the palette, there is a film protector to protect the palette. And go ahead and remove that. Now, right off the bat, you can definitely see how the cover is a reflected, shiny cardboard. This is in the shape of a book. Now, this does remind me of the books that they would issue out to you while you were in school. And I remember that the books wouldn't last very long. They would get very worn in the corners. And definitely if you would write on top of the book, like say you would have paper and then you would write, every letter, every word that you would write would get transferred to the book. I did read on some of the reviews that fingerprints are very easy to get on the palette, and smudging is very easily to get on the palette as well. And I also did read that this palette does get easily indented, so you gotta be careful on that. On the bottom right hand corner, you can definitely see how Smashbox is engraved on the book. And Smashbox is also engraved on the spine of the book. And on the back of the book, it does include the sticker with the name of the palette and what the palette includes. So right off the bat, I did notice the palette did not close well. And then as I got a closer look, you can definitely see how the palette is actually damaged and cracked on the right side of the palette. I did read on some reviews that other people that purchased this palette as well did receive the palette broken. Now, the box in which the palette came in was not damaged at all. Neither was the other purchases that I made. They were absolutely fine. So it was just the palette itself that was damaged. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the palette. And it does open up like a book. And there is a tissue paper in the center. Let me go ahead and remove that. Now, on the website, it does not show you, but there are 2 plastic cover films that cover each of the sides of the palette that display the names of the products. I did read on some of the reviews that some did not like the plastic covers because they felt like it got in the way and it did get dirty very fast. I do like the plastic covers. I like the fact that you can see the names of the product while you're going to use them. I also feel like it's going to protect the shadows as well from falling out and from mixing with other colors. The left side of the palette includes 28 eyeshadows, which come in 0.04 ounces. There are 8 eyeshadow trios and 4 individual eyeshadows. And I do like the fact that they come in trios. This is helpful for suggestions on how to wear the eyeshadow. On the right side of the palette, you do get 4 creamy eyeliners, which come in 0.03 ounces. You also get 5 blushes, which come in 0.09 ounces. And 1 bronzer, which also comes in 0.09 ounces. And you also get 2 soft lights, which are also highlights, which come in 0.35 ounces. The container in which the palette comes in is a plastic tray. There are 4 magnets on each corner of the palette. Now this is to help with the closing of the palette. Now I did read on some of the reviews that the magnets were actually really weak. Now as you know, my palette doesn't close because of the crack it has right here in the corner, so it does not close. So I wouldn't be able to tell you how the magnets work. Now this is a closer look of where the palette is actually cracked. As you can see, it's actually cracked from one side and it goes through the whole side of the right palette. And on the side as well as it lifted up completely. I did contact Sephora, so they are sending me one on the way, but I have to wait another week for that to come in. Now before I go into swatches, I'm going to go ahead and give you the names of the products that are included in this palette. We're starting with the top row of trios. Starting from the left, the first trio is called Headshot, which includes Linen, Golden Orchard, and Chestnut. The second trio is called the Heliograph, which includes Nectar, Peacock, and Mocha. The third trio is called Focal Point, which includes Champagne, Flamingo, and Java. The fourth trio is called Quick Take, which includes Vanilla, Ambient, and Serpent. The second row of trios, starting from the left, the first trio is called Cover Shoot, which includes Flirt, Dusk, and Haze. The second trio is called Hyperfocal, which includes Mist, Rose, and Obsidian. The third trio is called Vignette, which includes Parfait, Amethyst, and Aubergine. The fourth trio is called Aristotype, which includes Opal, Anchor, and Ultramarine. The 4 individual eyeshadows located on the bottom of the palette, starting from the left, is called Bliss, Wheat, Sable, and Blackout. Now on the right side of the palette, on the top row, we have our 4 cream eyeliners. Starting from the left is Bronze, Midnight Purple, Picasso, and Caviar. Now in the center of the right palette, we have our 5 blushes and 1 bronzer. Starting on the top row, we have Carnation, Flush, Geranium. Rosy, and Warm Apricot. Our 1 bronzer is called Suntan. Now, on the bottom of the right side of the palette, we have our 2 soft lights, which are also considered highlights. Starting from the left, we have Lens and Shimmer. All the swatches were done using Smashbox Photo Finish More Than Primer Primer. So I have received my replacement palette from Sephora. This new palette is in better condition. It is not damaged or broken. The only issue I did notice was that the palette doesn't close properly. I removed the plastic covers and it still doesn't make a difference on how it closes. It just doesn't close properly at all. So it's very obvious that the magnets located on the corner of the palette, that they don't work. So my final thoughts on this palette is that I love the diversity and the variety of options that this palette has to offer. Now all the shadows are very pigmented and there's an even balance of shimmery and matte shadows. Now the shadows look a lot better in person, so I definitely advise you to go check out this palette at your local Sephora store. As for the packaging, you would definitely have to handle this palette with care. As you know, it is very fragile and can break easily, so I definitely would not recommend using this palette when traveling or to have in your purse. This concludes my review for the Smashbox The Masterclass Palette 2. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun doing this. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!